When something happens to your kitchen and you say,
"This is ludicrous,"
you get...
Having trouble? Don't panic.
How you feel? I'm lonely and I need some affection. No way to show me that it's for real. So tired of learning.
Yo, Bash, you been tripping on them hoes?
BurnLive, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' IRA, keeping underage smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Welcome to another podcast show. I know this is earlier than normal, but I went to bed seeing the news about what Colorado was doing. I think I was probably one of the earliest people to get the recognition. People was actually texting me about Trump and what that happened to him yesterday in Colorado. They was texting me doing a podcast yesterday. And I was like, I'm not really going to break off into going into the coverage like that, just seeing what was put out there. I just wasn't. There's also have been a report, and this is the reason why I'm doing this show right here. This report alone
You can turn something like
drove
this.
me crazy. And to hear that something that a lot of people has been saying is unconstitutional. Now, if you're telling me that this is unconstitutional, that you're really not supposed to do this, but you're going to make an exception for one person because what one person do, that just doesn't sit, it doesn't sit right with me, okay? I believe that we need a better format of justice if we're going to be playing around with this altercation. Now, this report right here is the one that got me. Boy, I was hot. Okay? So, we're going to get into this report. I want y'all to hear, and we're going to break down, we're going to decipher, we're going to see what's up, bro. This is weird.
Trump's 2024 Republican rivals are backing him against the Colorado court decision.
Now they're up here talking about they're backing them up. Yes, we should not be letting judges dictate what we the people need to be doing. When somebody comes to your job and tells you how to run your job, do you like that? Is that what you like? Do y'all think that is cool? Do y'all think that is okay to be having done to you? Hey man, I'm just have this done because this is what you think and like. Huh?
Posting on social media, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis called the ruling tantamount to abusing judicial power and wrote SCOTUS should reverse. Here's former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie.
We don't need to have judges making these decisions. We need voters to make these decisions. So I want to see this in the hands of the voters. We're going to win this the right way. We're going to do what we need to do. But the last thing we want is judges telling us who can and can't be on the ballot.
I do not believe Donald Trump should be prevented from being president of the United States by any court. I think he should be prevented from being president of the United States by the voters of this country.
The only candidate for president who didn't immediately condemn the ruling was former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson. Maura, what do
I think his statement's actually very
the
interesting.
Colorado
He
Supreme
says,
Court? Okay, go ahead. Put his
here's
statement.
Asa Hutchinson's statement. The factual finding that he supported insurrection will haunt his candidacy.
Maura Gay, what do you say to the Republican candidate's argument that this should be the voters should have the say?
Okay, before she talks, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know if this makes any sense to you. Please let me know if this makes any sense what she says.
And not the courts.
Why are you standing with Confederates who betrayed this country? And this is what they're standing with.
Confederates. You didn't see no Confederate flag.
Is the spirit of those Confederates rather than the Americans who came together after a long and brutal civil war that was fought to keep the Union together, and clearly saw a threat in ex-Confederates running for office, so much so that they amended the Constitution to prevent those traitors from running for office. That should...
You see how slow she's talking? That lets you know she's making up what she's saying. She don't even believe in what she's saying. You're calling Trump a Confederate when he is a conservative. There's nothing Confederate about the Conservative Party. I am being a part of the Conservative Party, and I have yet to see anything Confederate. These are the same party that released us from slavery during the Civil War. These are the same party that the Republican Party voted in Abraham Lincoln as a president. This is the same party that, bullshit you not, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was a part of. So a mass group of the black community that has made big differences in our community, big differences are part. You got people in Chicago that's not liking what's going on. That's like Trump have a meeting. But y'all are going to sit up here and let the court say, hey, we don't think that was right. Now, the court system, you may not think that's right, but why are y'all taking him off the ballot? What gives you the right? What did y'all see in y'all hearings that gave y'all such a right to say, you know what, I'm going to take him off the ballot? It's all good. Trust me, it's all good.
Send a message that our election system, our electoral system, can be used for nefarious purposes against the democracy itself. It's clear. It's clear as day.
Yeah. David, so the question is, who is a finder of fact that Donald Trump committed insurrection? We, of course, all believe it. I said, okay, Mika, you don't have to dart your eyes around.
I was like... You
don't have to dart your eyes around. I said on January the 7th, Donald Trump should be arrested and tried and sent to jail. But the question is, under the law, due process under the law, do judges randomly decide that he's an insurrectionist, or do people on cable news shows decide he's an insurrectionist, or does he actually have to be convicted of insurrection by federal prosecutors?
Look, these Republican candidates are all willing to fight for the silver medal. They're all willing to fight each other, but they will not stand up to Donald Trump. They're too scared to fight, and therefore they are too weak to win. The reason their words matter now, I mean, I think probably what's going through Nikki Haley's head is she's hoping the Supreme Court will deliver for her, but she doesn't want to be the person to say so. The problem they have is the Supreme Court is looking to these candidates for signals about...
You cannot sit up here, and that's one thing with the news, and we sit up here and watch this every day. We sit up here with the news, and we sit up here and we predict how somebody thinks, and their process, like, oh man, they think like this. That's how their mind thinks. No, I dislike when you sit up here and say this is how a person think. No, that's not cool. You're leading your leading candidate who's leading in a poll. Y'all should do a poll in Colorado and say, hey, do y'all want Trump on the ballot, yes or no? Could y'all do that?
What Republicans expect. If Nikki Haley is trying to be artfully insincere, and maybe Ron DeSantis.
So they're covering for Nikki Haley. So it's like saying, this is what I'm getting out of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But hey, we are going to sit up here and we're going to vouch for Nikki Haley. We like Nikki Haley. So therefore, Colorado, we're just going to take Trump off the ballot. So it'd be easy for her to win. And nobody has a choice. Yet again, here's that taking away that dictatorship. Joe Biden took away dictatorship from the Democratic Party. Okay, the Democrats can't find no other nominee if they want to put up for candidacy for the presidency. So now that they see Trump is winning in the polls, and oh yes, Trump is winning in the polls. Yes, he is, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are going to take him off the ballot. You got big podcaster people out here predicting that Trump is going to get murdered and stuff like that. And so, no, they're not going to murder him. They're going to take him, clearly, they're going to take him off the ballot. People that want to vote for him can't vote for him. So who am I supposed to vote for?
The same, and to say, please don't do this. I beg you not to do this, while thinking, please do this, please do this, please do this. But that's too complicated. The courts need to hear from Republicans. We respect your authority. If you do this, you will be supported, and that will give the Supreme Court the permission it needs from its fellow Republicans. It's a very political court, to act in a way to save the Republican Party from itself. As I keep stressing, had this case come up in the summer, we would be talking about Biden as the beneficiary. But in coming up as it does at the end of 2023, the beneficiaries here are Trump's fellow and better Republicans.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, George Conway, let me ask you. 14th Amendment talks about someone who's committed insurrection against the United States. Constitution. Who is the finder of fact of that? People on cable news? Judges in Colorado, or does it need to be a jury in Washington, D.C. That is hearing a case on whether Donald Trump committed insurrection against the United States Constitution?
Well, as a good longtime member of the Federal Society, you have to look at the text of the constitutional provision, and the constitutional provision says nothing about convictions. They could have easily, when they wrote that provision, said someone convicted of insurrection cannot hold public office. It does not say that, and so what that means is the courts are free to determine on their own, based upon valid judicial processes, what is an insurrection and whether the facts meet that. And what happened here was there was a 5-day trial where Donald Trump and his lawyers got to participate, and the judge made extensive findings. A judge that actually kind of ruled for him on a bogus ground found that he engaged in insurrection, found this by not just a preponderance of the evidence, which is your lower basic civil court standard, but by clear and convincing evidence, which means that it's way more than, more likely than not. It's very, very, very strong evidence, and you don't see the dissents challenging those findings at all. And in fact, there's no basis to challenge the findings. When you go to the majority opinion and you read...
Now, y'all see the pictures. That bell let you know that y'all see the pictures. Y'all see the pictures that they're showing. Where do y'all see a Confederate flag? I just want to know, taking your valid, lovely, constitutional right to vote for somebody that you want to wear. Now, like I said, this only happened in Colorado, so therefore, I'm just saying, y'all.
Is this what you want?
Is this right? Is this right? Should we give a round of applause for this panel because they're telling us the truth of what's the insurrection is, which they don't say what's the insurrection is. They're like, what the judges considered an insurrection. So what do they consider an insurrection? What is it?
The 30 or 40 pages, or I don't know how many there are, on what happened
He doesn't
on January
even know.
6th and what Donald Trump did
Hold on.
before
Wait
in
a minute.